Welcome to SummitVBFan. I'm your host, Jeremy Cleveland, and I will once again be your guide on this feed throughout the 2026 Summit League volleyball season. We continue our countdown to first serve today. I'm joined by the head coach of the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, Coach Nolan. Looks like you're having a nice weather day in Tulsa, huh?
Look, when the sun shines, you got to be outside. You got to get a chance. I tell it to my girls all the time. So if I don't do it, then I'm just a hypocrite. So, yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So let's look back at last year. I always say in life there's wins and there's lessons. And what did we learn in year one as a head coach at Oral Roberts?
Learned that it's not – the Summit League is not really a one-size-fits-all. It's kind of you've got to be able to fit whatever the size is that you've got to all of the different talent that there is. The coaches are very experienced. There's been a lot of tenured coaches in this league. And then there's also some new coaches that are very respectable and have won a lot. And not only new coaches, but new Division I programs. I mean, I think it's such a unique conference, one that has a lot of tradition and has a lot of wins. And then there's also some new faces, new adds to it as well. So Oral Roberts is part of that traditional side of being very successful in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and then has kind of hit some rocky times in the middle. And then, just hoping to be up again on that surge. And I know it's never easy to change a mindset, change a program, change behaviors, especially. But I'm not really looking for change. I'm looking for growth because I think the things that we have and the pieces that we have are really good. I think that what it takes is just some growth and some patience and then some TLC and some sunshine. So, yeah.
There we go. Well, part of the growth process is probably going to start with an outstanding player. You're going to return Courtnee Smith, second team All Summit from a season ago. So tell me about what she brings to your roster.
I love Courtnee Smith. I love the fact that she's such a fun-loving kid. First off, she's very smart in the classroom. She gets her work done, and then she was in Florida. She set records for the squat and different weightlifting things down in Florida in Miami. Her dad is one of her favorite coaches and has helped her out like crazy. And her dad is such a cool role model. Now that I have a daughter, I'm like, man, that I would love to do that as a former athlete. He helps his daughter out a lot. But I think Courtney has, she's kind of taken the blue pill a little bit more. She's kind of not as naive as she was going into last season and what it takes to be a terminal outside hitter day in and day out, not just, every weekend and not just one of the games on the weekend, but like every single practice all summer long, and then all the way through the fall. And she's excited for that. And I think if there's, I'm not anointing her or calling her, God's gift to volleyball. That's definitely not true. She's just Courtney. But I think Courtney has a heart for like that hard work and that style of, I want to be counted on. I don't know how to speak about being counted on. I don't know how to rise up to that occasion. And, as my playing career, I had to learn how to do that. And so that's one of my favorite things to do as a coach is to take somebody with a lot of talent who wants to have the ball at the end of the game, who has the ability to rise up above the block and score and be able to like sharpen that mentality and be like, yeah, I've killed lions too. You want to learn how to kill a lion? Let's go. That's like one of my favorite things. So it's been fun with Courtney and she's worked on her passing and her blocking a lot too. So I'm excited to see what she can do. I mean, I have a lot of fun watching her.
Yeah, if you're saying she's growing from second team All Summit last year, I can't wait to watch her. And personality, I was watching one of the videos you guys put out on your X profile. Big Coco is her nickname in practice, huh?
I've never heard her called Big Coco. Okay. And
okay.
I posted it on my story and I tagged her and I said, Un poco loco, ? Like I've never heard her called Big Coco, but I mean, she definitely gives off that aura. So I could see the girls calling her Big Coco.
Okay.
Just not to my face. So.
Okay, I got a good laugh out of that. And I also kind of related to a couple of your other players, Anna and Anna. It's like, I never get names right, so I can relate to those two getting them messed up in practice.
It's It's the biggest. Our assistant coach's name is Audie. My sister, who used to be on staff, her name is Ani. And then we have, Anna Stojicic and Anna Appel. And I just, I'm hopeless. I got to start calling them like Stoge or Appel. I'm not sure, but it's the worst thing. I think they were kind of making fun of me in that one a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I can feel the pain of having a tough time with pronunciation at times. So, you have a new roster, a lot of new kids on this team again. So, who's impressed you so far as you've gone through fall camp?
what's been the most impressive is their show up ability. It doesn't really matter whether it's a tough week or a fun week. We'll do like beach week in the spring and stuff. Like the girls, the transfers that we got, because we pulled in 4 middles in the portal right after season. So between December to January, we pulled in 4 middles. It was Jaya, Molly, Quincy, and Tarsi. And then we had Kylie signed already for the fall. So we're really grateful to be able to have 5. And, it's normally, I'd say a lot of teams have 4, maybe 4.5, but having 5 is really helpful because they're also so versatile. So they do a lot of things differently than even each other. So there's some that really have a strong blocking presence. All of them have a way of scoring, but most of them score differently, whether it's better off 1 foot or 2 feet, whether it's close to the setter or with, the gap or a slide type dynamic. And even their serving ability. There's a few of them that really shine behind the service line. So, it makes it's so much better to have lots of decisions to make because you have lots of decisions to make. As opposed to in last year, I love Nat and Jenna and Grace, but having 3 and then, we lost one with a concussion, it just kind of leads to being really trapped in some areas of what you're able to do. So I think we're a lot more well-rounded team. I think we're a lot more diverse team. I think we have a lot more players who can do the both and, which is what I look for when I'm recruiting. Can you do the both and, which is like the academic and the athletic? Can you do middle and be a great leader? Can you do basically faith and be a hard, aggressive, snot-nosed defender? Like, if you can't do a both and here, it's not going to work well for you because this isn't a place of isolation. This isn't a place of solitary. This is a place of the both and, which is why I'm sitting on my back porch right now. And it's, 11:30. I have to be able to do the both and. My little daughter's 4 months old. She's inside. I need to be able to spend time with her because this season's coming up and there's a lot of travel and I'm going to miss a lot of her life. But she's 4 months old right now and she knows who dad is. I'm doing the both and. I'm not going to sacrifice one for the other. And so that's my recruiting philosophy. That's also my team philosophy. And the girls are improving. We had of the 9 girls that are returning from the spring, there was 16 inches of vertical growth. And 2 of those were liberos, so we didn't even count them. So of the 7 girls that are attackers, the average vertical increase was 2 inches per player on our team this spring. And I think that's after they all played a college season before. Courtney increased her vertical after playing, a year and a half of college volleyball. So we're really in a growth. We're really in a fertile growth time. And I think my job as a coach is to just sort of see how it is that they want to keep growing and really put some blinders on in some ways to say, okay, that's probably too much, but I love your ideas and let's figure out a way to apply that and let's plan for that because that's a not yet, but it's coming. Like we will grow in that way soon, such as like social media, such as some of the ancillary things that impact how we're viewed but may not impact how we play. And I'm going, no, we're keeping the play paramount. Okay. I don't care how we're viewed because at the end of the day, we're either going to be viewed as a winner or a loser. And so you can view us as underprepared. You can view us as undersized or, over hopeful or overly optimistic. But at the end of the day, you're going to view us as a winner or a loser. And that's it. And so don't worry so much about social media. Don't worry about what we wear. Don't worry about the clothes, the possessions, all. No, we've got some NIL money. We can give it to where we need to give it. Don't worry so much. That's a performance bonus. What you have is a whole ability to be a well-rounded human. And I think that's what it is that we want to have here. And so it's not a fever dream. I mean, Courtney got baptized this February after getting second team all conference. And that's huge. To be able to have that show of faith in front of all of the students, that's huge. So many people get embarrassed in front of their whole student body in one way or another. And instead of embarrassed, she got affirmed. And it's like, that's the kind of fervor that we want to continue having here. And it's not normal. I know that it's super rare and unique, but it's felt like I don't know. In the Bible, they asked if the apostles were drunk when they were like preaching about stuff. And I feel that sometimes about myself, is that like when I coach, I want it to be just on that line of like, is coach like actually serious about this? Like, does he actually think we can do this? And I do. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. And the proof is in the pudding. Courtney was one of the first to believe in it. She ended up getting second team all conference because she believed in herself and had the ability. And then the team this spring were believing in it, and they're believing in our strength coach. And so they all improved by an average of 2 inches in their vertical. So all it is really just belief squared. You just believe in yourself, believe in team. You'll end up having the results. So that's the thing I've liked the most about the team, is that not every problem has gone away, but they still allow their belief to lead them. Even when, we have a changeover of our staff, even when coach misses the scrimmage in the spring because 4 months ago I had my baby. And so the one, we had a scrimmage this spring, and that was the day my daughter Lucy was born. And so, coach isn't even at the scrimmage, and it's like, yeah, I mean, they have a lot of confidence and belief in themselves, which is really what I'm trying to build. So even if I'm not there, they should be able to play their hearts out and win. That's the goal.
Well, sounds like some exciting growth there for you guys in the offseason, on and off the floor. Let's talk about setter position for a moment. You bring in a top-level recruit out of Oklahoma, and then did you bring somebody out of retirement from Liberty? What's the story on this one?
She would laugh if when she sees this. So Anna Appel, she was one of the first recruits that I started talking to when I got here. As it says, she's the number 2 ranked in her position, according to whatever system, whatever website. I mean, I
went with Prep Dig on that one, I believe.
Yeah. I would agree. Prep Dig's probably the overall, guiding force of the recruiting, scene. I think what I saw was just that our roster had no girls from Oklahoma on it. And it's really difficult to build a legacy and tradition if everyone is from everywhere else. Oklahoma volleyball is getting better, and it's growing a lot. And Anna's club team did a lot of winning, and her club coach Chip McCaw played at Pepperdine, played on the U.S. national team for a while. He was a setter, and her assistant club coach Becky played at ORU back in the day, actually was number 6 as well. Found that out after giving Anna number 6. And then her high school coach also is an ORU alum. And so there's so much overlap in Anna's story. She's got a great family. She is a winner. She was a 4-year captain for Victory High School, which you just don't really see. But I think she embodies a lot of those characteristics and strengths of a leader. And yet she's a freshman. And so she's trying to embody characteristics of what it means to be a college volleyball player. So there's time for her to grow, and I'm excited to see what her growth will look like. But I think she plays a very well-rounded game. She attacks very well when she needs to. She can turn on a swivel, take a swing with her right hand. She's got good ball sense on the block and on the dig. She's not afraid to be vocal. She shoots the ball to the middles and kind of, she's one of those where if I see some success out on this pin, I'll just keep going to the pin. Like if you're having success, she's just got a little bit of a good gamer baller strategy sense that I've probably had the chance to watch her more than any of the other recruits in this class, just because she is right down the street. I mean, Victory is literally right across the street from ORU. Um, so yeah, I've been listening to Chip and learning from him as a national team setter, and so is she. And so I think she's just got a lot of upside, and there's a lot of positive to Anna. And great kid too, valedictorian of her high school. I mean, very, very bright kid. And she's been doing a good job. And she's also fun. And then Ava, when I was coaching at Liberty, I met Ava Ewald because she was on the Liberty Beach team. She was a setter in high school. She played high school indoor volleyball, but she chose to go to Liberty to play beach. And I have some experience with what that is, like playing a different sport and then coming back to volleyball. I played college basketball for a year. I was a high school All-American with USA Volleyball. I played for Sports Performance up in Chicago, and played against Micah Christensen in high school and all of that stuff in the club scene. And just chose basketball because the fit was a better fit for the school and all that stuff. But then after that year, I was like, man, I really miss volleyball. And I ended up becoming, the leader in the nation in kills per set. And I think it's a unique path to go from, playing beach at a school to then becoming a setter on a college team. But I think some of the tangible things that Ava brings are the things that we're looking for. She's a stellar at defense. She's not going to be a prowess on the block. She's not going to control the game above the net like that. But I think she controls the game under the net in a way that is kind of old school, kind of like that scrappy, defensive, right side setter, not afraid to throw herself around. She gets in the mix of things. I think so often we see setters now, they play above the net, which is great, but it's kind of like, it's almost like separate from the team. And Ava is just right in the middle of the scrum. She's got a bulldog type mentality, even though she looks like a, Tinkerbell sometimes as she like twiddles her toes to get to the ball. I tell her all the time, hey, just be confident, just set from where you're at. I think it's because she's used to being in the sand that now she can push off the hard court that much harder. But anyhow, Ava is a great leader, great kid, awesome family. And I'm grateful that she and Anna will be able to be the best supports for each other in that position. And they do the work. And so, they're earning the team's respect, and we're still working on our connections in some different facets. But like, I have a lot of, I have a lot of hope for that position. And I think I'm really excited to see how they manage it and create and just dish. It's going to be a lot of fun.
No, to have a freshman and then also have a graduate transfer there, going to be an interesting dynamic, and hopefully we'll see that growth as the season goes on. Just a couple more questions for you. You referenced the staff, and I've been in connection a little bit with Coach Carl, and you brought in some good ones to your staff this year, I believe.
Yeah, Coach Carl, he's about as plugged in as you can get for someone that came from the men's side. So he was the head coach at Fairleigh Dickinson, helped start that program. And been there for 5 years. I knew Carl when I was coaching on the men's side, and I knew Carl as the guy that always showed up to the court whenever I was recruiting. I'd always see Carl in the big purple sweatshirt with NYU, and he was the assistant coach at that time. And I never really met him, just kind of knew of him. And then when I started working with USA Volleyball, we worked a camp together, and I got a chance to meet him, and I got a chance to hear his philosophy on things, and just I knew he was very plugged in. And so I got in touch with Carl, not to see if he wanted the job, but to actually ask him about 4 different coaches that I knew he knew. And after I described what it was that we wanted here at ORU, and he tried to tell me about those 4 others, and I was like, I don't feel like that might be what I'm saying. I don't feel like this. I really want someone who can be a thought partner, someone who has the experience making the big decisions, and someone who, when I go out to do recruiting or fundraising or, just need to make trips and stuff, that there's someone that's back here, and vice versa. If I'm here, that person can go on the road and can be that representation, because I know they show up. And when Carl said, maybe that could be me. And I was like, well, you're absolutely qualified. So I'm going to send you, just don't say anything else. I'm just going to send you the link, you can fill it out, and yeah, through that process, I think we saw that we can work really well together, and that he does believe in what it is we're doing here. And I think the big thing for ORU volleyball is that if it's good for you, it's good for ORU volleyball. And if it's good for ORU volleyball, it's good for you. And I think Carl sees the areas of ORU volleyball that will really help him also become the coach that he wants to be. And he's very open about that. Like, he wants to learn what makes the Summit League so celebrated as a volleyball conference, getting two teams to the tournament every year. He wants to learn what I do as a coach that makes me so successful in things, and I want to learn from him too. And I'm absolutely got the humility to share that. Like, I learn from every person in my program, top to bottom. Absolutely, I learned from my janitor, Ron. Shout out Ron if you watch it. Have some good talks with him all the time. So I think he's got that spirit, he's got that heart. And then I think with Ariana Pagan, got in touch with her through my network. Has a heart that is just pumping and going and driving. And she's been playing professional volleyball since she graduated Stephen F. Austin. The coaches, Debbie at Stephen F. Austin, just had the most amazing things to say about her. Evan Amstutz, who used to be the assistant there, is now at Austin P. Known him for a while. He just had nothing but good things to say. Well, he was like, after she was done, if it helps you, I mean, she used to babysit our kids. Like, my wife would ask her to come over to babysit, and I'm like, that's a pretty good character, thing right there. So, yeah, it all works out for a reason. And it was, some of it was announced a little bit late, but I think what I've found is that timing is timing, and that, like, it's better to have the right people invited in late than it is to have the wrong people invited in very, very early, because it's like, it just feels better. Because I think when you find the right people, and so I'm hopeful. I think we have found the right people, and I think that it's going to allow us to fight and push in ways that we haven't seen in Tulsa in a while. And so, Ari wants to fight. She wants to go. She's a hard worker, and she still got it too. She was playing. She and I were both suiting up, playing for one of the teams in practice yesterday, and she still got it. It's a lot of fun, and the girls have a lot to learn from her too. So, yeah.
Now, it sounds like you guys are going to have a fun year on that bench, and I look forward to seeing you. I think you're going to be in Fargo on Halloween. So, Lucy's probably not old enough to eat the candy yet, but otherwise I'd send a candy bag back for her. But last question for you, Coach. Expectations for this year, goals for this year. Just give me a high-level view of what you're expecting.
Yeah, I want to come out. I want to come out of the non-conference slate rolling. Like, I think last year we played, throughout the season, we played 8 matches against NCAA tournament teams. And that was a little bit too far forward for us. I think this year we're going to have a schedule that in the non-conference is a lot more comparable to where we finished in the RPI. And I think it's going to give us a chance to earn some victories, to have some tough battles, hopefully come out on top. But if we don't, like, we will either win or we will learn, and we just got to keep on grinding and rolling in that way until we get to face KC first game of the year in September, and first conference game of the year in September. So the hope would be to come out with some confidence, with some assurity underneath our belt, and then heading into the conference slate. I mean, we want to make the tournament. We want to, when you're at the conference tournament, there's 3 or 4 nights that you have to show out once you're there. And so all we have to do is just, when the popcorn is hot, when the lights are up, we just take care of the business on day one. So we got to earn our shot to be there. And then if we can just take care of business, and then we just get a chance to do it again, the goal is so that they love volleyball more than they've ever loved it before when we get to December. Like, if we do that, we'll be great. We'll probably win. So that's going to be our goal. And if you've tried love and it doesn't work, don't try anything else. That's what I'll leave you with.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the time today, Coach Nolan. Like I said, I look forward to seeing you when you come to town in October. But until then, good luck. I think you're going to spend a lot of time in Louisiana looking at that non-conference schedule. So enjoy the gumbo down there, okay?
Hey, August in Louisiana is definitely hot. But, yeah, we love some Creole cooking, and we're definitely going to enjoy it. And I wanted to say thank you for all of the articles, the videos, and stuff that you're doing for the Summit League. For those of you that are watching this that have made it to the end, this is big time coverage, and I think it's really good for our players, really good for our conference, and so I hope to continue seeing it. And if you guys have anything for me or anything for Jeremy, if you want to leave it down in the comments, like that's going to be a great way for us to be able to get content out that I think is helpful for our players. I mean, Summit League is a great league, and I'm really proud of it. So thank you, Jeremy.
No doubt. Thank you for the kind words there, Coach Nolan. Until we meet again, everyone, Summit League volleyball is right around the corner. Get ready for some volleyball. Talk to you soon.